Ukraine faces more political uncertainty as Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk resigns. The announcement came in Parliament after two parties said they would pull out of the governing coalition. It all comes as more bodies from flight MH17 reach the Netherlands. For more details, we go over to CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg, who joins us live from Kiev. Roee, first of all, why this resignation and where did it come from?
Well, indeed, a lot of this from abroad might look like quite a dramatic development. Domestically, it's being perceived as a lot more internal politics than anything else. You have to remember, Arseniy Yatsenyuk was 39 when he came to office, now 40. Just a few months ago, he became prime minister amid a constitutional crisis, and that's because many of the MPs from the Party of Regions, the party of the ousted president Viktor Yanukovych, defected from the party, staying in parliament. Yatsenyuk's party became the biggest one and made a coalition, a marriage of convenience, if you will, with UDAR, the party of Vitaly Klitschko, who became mayor, and with Svoboda, the nationalist, ethnically Ukrainian party. Now, that marriage has lasted for quite some time, but it seems like it was a marriage that was destined to end. And one of the reasons is it's believed that UDAR and Svoboda both feel that if there were elections now, they would have a larger share of the parliament, the Rada here. So they announced that they would be withdrawing from that coalition, and that would effectively leave the Prime Minister Yatsenyuk without a coalition. His only obvious partner would be the Party of Regions. He says he is not willing to do that, and therefore he offered his resignation. Initially, UDAR and Svoboda said they will not accept it. We understand late on Thursday night that they are ready to put forward their own candidate temporarily for acting Prime Minister. That would be Volodymyr Groysman, who is the Deputy Prime Minister, and you may have seen his face in recent days. He's been leading the Ukrainian investigation, at least the face of it, for MH17. So a lot of these faces recycled here. This will now mean that there will be early parliamentary elections, and we knew that Petro Poroshenko, the president, wanted that anyways. We heard these rumors for the last few days. So this seems to be a cycle of politics here.
Roee, what are the potential consequences of his resignation on the operations in the East and on Ukraine as a whole?
Well, Yatsenyuk said in his resignation speech that this would create a problem because they wouldn't be able to vote on bills and laws required to continue funding the military. He specifically said, who's going to pay for the gas of those armored personnel carriers? The bigger problem becomes the IMF loan that Ukraine needs, that bailout loan. There's another vote that needs to happen, and it appears the Rada might not be able to vote on that very important loan that the reforms are required for Ukraine to get the second part of that loan. They already received around $2 billion. They're expected to receive another $1.5 billion if certain laws are passed. And there are, of course, other measures as well. Yatsenyuk says that the government cannot function without, obviously, a coalition. Some analysts here that we spoke to said the government will continue to operate per usual up until a new government is sworn in, a new parliament is sworn in, perhaps as early as December. We're now expecting parliamentary elections in late October.
Roee Ruttenberg reporting live for us in Kiev. Thank you for the update.